What's up, y'all? Let's see how this goes tonight. How y'all doing? Come on in here, chat. Come on in here, chat. Come on in here, fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. What's up, Mr. Smoke? I can't tell how people are in here, nothing like that. I don't know what the hell's going on. I can't tell how many people in here. I can't tell how many likes I got. Y'all good? Let me know y'all in here. The only thing I see is Mr. Smoke's comment. Let me know y'all in here before I start my mouth. Ain't nobody in here. Shit. Let me know y'all in here. Okay, there we go. We got some people coming in. A whole bunch of messages just came like, what's up, DSB Rashawn? What's up, Nigerian Butterfly? It's always good with Nigerian Butterflies up in here. Always good seeing you. What's up, Kenny Red? What's up, Frank Green? Yeah, that's how they do with me with the notifications. It's like, you know what? That's why I appreciate all y'all for joining. I know how the notification game is, you know? Some of y'all catch me. I appreciate it. You know we gonna smoke, Mr. Smoke THC. What's up, Pins and Combs? Rashawn Green. Zavon Scott, what up? Thank y'all for joining. I'm gonna talk about a few things tonight. Y'all see the whole situation with this has been interesting because I actually watched that press conference live with Nina Turner, Jamal Bryant. What's that girl name? The Cadillac activist. What's her name? Chat room. What's the Cadillac activist name? Tamika Mallory. There was a press conference earlier this week, and I'm not gonna play it. Because I didn't feel like it's 90-degree day today in LA. Last thing I want to do is be inside in my office. I'm outside, so I'm not playing the footage. But there was a conference with Nina Turner, Cadillac activist, and Jamal Bryant. And yeah, Tamika Mallory, yeah. And it was funny because there was a split. There was some reverend that was up first. I don't know who she is. And then there was Nina Turner. The Reverend and Nina Turner and Cadillac activists, they all was like, we're going to continue on with this boycott of Target. Chevy Shabazz. Hey, Chris Vesey, that's why I'll be looking at the chat room. You niggas are stupid. This nigga said Chevy Shabazz. I better keep driving, homie. What the fuck you stopping for? I ain't looking for me, nigga. Must be somebody's Uber driver out front. I ain't the one, nigga. Nigga said Chevy Shabazz. I'm not fucking with y'all in the chat today. Let me focus in and just say what I gotta say before I read some goddamn distracted ass comments like Chevy Shabazz. Like, oh shit. So anyway, Nina Turner, and I'm gonna take my chat room, Chevy Sabaz, C. Vesey, that's his. They were all on the tune of continuing the boycott against Target. And Jamal Bryant, the corrupt, in my opinion, pastor, we've all seen the moves Jamal Bryant make. I don't know how Jamal Bryant can. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we here. I don't know how Jamal Bryant has so much influence, but he does. It's like this dude gets to steal, cheat, side babies, and people still listen to him. I don't know how. But Jamal Bryant continues to live and continues to, not live, he should live, but he continues to lead, I should say. I don't know how that nigga still leading after all the shit he done been through. I get leading, but people following part is the part I don't understand. And so Jamal Bryant basically said the Target boy, he didn't call it a boycott, he called it a fast. He said the fast is over. And so you got Tamika Mallory and Nina Turner, who the first part of the conference was talking about why they still must continue the fast or the boycott. And then Jamal Bryant came on and said boycott over. And what you see is Jamal Bryant and then Al Sharpton got into it. Al Sharpton, I was doing some research before I started this. Al Sharpton met with the people at Target. And the perception is, I don't know, I wasn't there. But the perception, which unit are you looking for? 1-2? Yeah, right here. Which unit?
5.
5?
Yeah.
This is the back side though. It's that one there. But yeah, but it's the back side. That's our back door. So, but it's that one. I gotta help the people out. I used to drive Uber, man. Anytime I see Uber drivers delivering and shit, I did Uber and DoorDash for a little while, man. So I'm always looking out for them when I see them. Anyway, so you see, it seems as if, and people who are closer to it than I am are saying the perception is Jamal Bryant and Al Sharpton took a payoff. What's up, Ramon? Hell yeah, man. Kenny Red, yeah, nigga. Of course Jamal Bryant's another motherfucking Al Sharpton. Yeah. Yeah. So what we see here is Westside Bo said, of course they did. He said, of course they did. But we see that they've taken it seems as if I got to be safe with my words. You know, y'all in the chat room, y'all can be as real. Y'all be real. Y'all be as real as y'all can be in the chat room. But I'm protecting my channel and I'm being safe with my words. But I will say I agree personally with some of the things that I've read in the chat. I'm gonna say that I'm with really with what y'all niggas is talking about in the chat. But to protect myself, it seems as if he was paid off. And right in front of us, that conference, it's just I didn't want to go back to it because it was so unorganized and so bootleg. It looked like they met at the Boys and Girls Club in the lunchroom. That conference that they put on really looked like a Boys and Girls Club lunchroom conference. And Nina Turner and Tamika Mallory started out saying one thing, and Jamal Bryant came out and said something different. Are we starting to see a schism? It looks like a schism between those two sides, and I want us to be observers of this. Remember this, and like, even if you don't agree with my opinions, I'm fine with that. My opinions come from the point of view of I am an observer of reality. I don't have a side. People are like, you gotta take a side. No, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck you don't. Now, a certain thing, like when it comes to your family, you gotta take a side, of course. When it comes to your self-interest, you gotta take a side. But when it come down to this nigga and that nigga, I ain't gotta take a side. Matter of fact, taking a side is that's the surefire method of not learning and not understanding. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to understand. You don't teach the way I teach unless you're in a constant mode of learning. The minute I pick sides in what goes on in the world around me, I've lost. You can't pick sides. You watch. Can y'all hear me? My phone just rang. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me, chat room? My phone just rang. Let me fuck it up my line sometimes. Press, can y'all, you can hear me? Okay, good. Somebody called me. Somebody I called 2 hours ago just now calling back. Hell, the hell? Okay, we good. That's why I do my late night lives from the phone because I shouldn't be getting phone calls this late. But anyway, okay, we good. So, what we're seeing is, we're seeing the schism between these two. And we're going pay attention. We're starting to see a big schism grow between those. That's funny. See, I got my garage open and I got a camera in that motherfucker. So anybody coming up over here, I'm gonna get a notification on my phone. Gotta have them cameras set up around your crib. Ain't nobody walking up on my backside without me getting a good notification. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about. So what we're seeing is a major schism between the blue party, the people who are the black people who are faithfully blue. We're really starting to see a schism. Somebody said, why don't YouTubers have two phones? Because I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a fucking man. That's why. I'm a man that talks on YouTube as part of what I do. I'm not a fucking YouTuber. Go to breakthroughas.com, nigga. That's why I ain't got two phones. I'm a fucking man. The hell I look like carrying two phones. I ain't got nothing to hide. People who got something to hide carry two phones. Shit like that. I used to have a Sidekick 2 and a Motorola Razr. But that was in 2005. Nigga said, well, I carry two phones. Nigga, buy me another phone. How about that? YouTubers. I reject that shit. Niggas act like just because you see me on YouTube, I'm a YouTuber. No, I'm a nigga. That's what I am. That happens to talk on YouTube a couple times a day sometimes. I spend the rest of my life being a real nigga. All right? Let's get that straight. Let's keep that straight. People think because you're on YouTube, oh, that's what you are. No, I'm not a fucking YouTuber. My life is far more complex than YouTube. Now back to what we're talking about. So I want us to pay attention to what we're seeing here, because we're seeing the people who've been blindly having faith in the Democrat Party, blindly having faith. These people who've been following along, we're back. The blue no matter who crowd, they're fighting. They're fighting. They're fighting. They're fighting. Yeah, they called back, and I hung up real fast. They called back. Yeah, it's war season. So we're seeing Jamal Bryant and Tamika Mallory and our whole side, they're starting to kind of go at it. They're not going at it overtly. It's kind of a quiet, because Tamika Mallory and Nina Turner, they're still 10 toes down with the boycott. Jamal Bryant and Al Sharpton are basically like, I think they got what they wanted out of this. Cattle activists. Who's Weird Werewolf said cattle activists? The cattle activists, that's funny. Real talk, Rashawn. We all knew it was going to explode soon. But cattle activists, that's, man. But we're seeing, because at the end of the day, the Target boycott was bullshit. Can we tell the truth? The Target boycott's bullshit. I never got in on it. I like Target. Shit. That's where I get my Dr. Bronner's. When I see Target got their toiletries, get 4 toiletries, get a $5 gift card, shit. Time for me to buy some lotion, some deodorant, and some Dr. Bronner's soap, so I can wash my monkey ass. Best soap on the planet, Dr. Bronner's. I tried to wash with that Dove shit. You don't feel clean. Once you get Dr. Bronner's, you ain't wash your ass with nothing else. Now, a bottle of Dr. Bronner's is $15 motherfucking dollars, and the Dove is $4. But shit, to me, it's worth it. That's right, sons. Netta J. We got Netta up in the building. What's up, Netta? Netta came relatively early, too. She didn't come in the last 2 seconds I'm talking. Everybody say what's up to Netta J. But hell yeah, Dr. Bronner's peppermint, especially in the summertime, shit. Now this time I'm on the lavender right now. I'm on the lavender this time of year. But when it get hot, well, it's hot now in LA. Ooh, it's hot. Man, when it's hot and you shower with that Dr. Bronner's peppermint, nigga, feel like a new human. No, Target did not move the black products from their store. No, they did not. But that's the thing that Al Sharpton said. When he said he met with Target, they committed to more, to continuing black products. Here's the reason why the Target boycott was bullshit. Everybody got rid of DEI. If your issue is DEI, everybody got rid of it, not just Target. Everybody got rid of it. And it came at a time that Target committed to like to what's her name, Yvette Nicole Brown, what's her name, her products. Target had just committed a lot of products, black-owned products, to their stores. That's why I thought it was weird. Like no other company had just allotted space for black-owned products more than Target did. And to sort of boycott Target when Amazon and everybody else, Walmart was doing the same thing, that was just stupid to me. Second, DEI was never for black people. Yeah, Tabitha Brown. Yeah, I said Yvette Nicole Brown. Yvette Nicole, she's an actress. Tabitha Brown. Yeah, my bad. My last name is Brown. I'm dyslexic. I'm sorry. And that's even my last name, but shit. I'm dyslexic. If two people got the same name, I'm a doop 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 doop. That'd be my fear when I be teaching y'all. When I be doing music and stuff like that, my fear be sometimes I know I'll go hard saying one person did something, and I'm in my head I'm thinking somebody else different, but I'll say a different name. That'd be my fear sometimes, that I'll go hard saying one name, but thinking somebody different. I do that shit all the time. Like when I talk to my wife and shit like that. So, but yeah, Walmart and Amazon benefited. Oh, I gotta go to TJ Maxx to get my Dr. Brown. I didn't know they had it there. But you see how I was just very offended at Tamika Mallory, Jamal Bryant, Al Sharpton, Nina Turner for their stance on DEI. Now, maybe where they are, it might be more black people that benefit, but I'm in Los Angeles, California. DEI don't help us down here. DEI does not help black Americans at all. Yeah, we're Martha. That's the thing about it. Like, that's why I'm like, okay, who are y'all? Are y'all? I understand Tamika Mallory and Nina Turner and Al Sharpton. I understand them being controlled opposition and all. But it's one thing to be controlled opposition. It's another thing to just be a flat out staunch enemy. Y'all boycotted the one company that committed to black owned products. What's that about? Walmart didn't commit to black owned products. Amazon didn't. The only company that committed to black owned products out of all of the companies was Target. So when Target rolled back DEI, just like American Airlines, just like Amazon, just like Spectrum Cable, just like your local bus department, everybody got rid of DEI. And a major and let's think about the chess move. Why? What is the number one thing companies generally like to avoid? They like to avoid lawsuits, and companies want to stay in agreement with whatever political party is in office. Corporations play both sides. They donate to both sides. So if the side that's in office is saying no more DEI and we're going to target and audit companies that do it, companies are going to stop it, even if they want to. At the end of the day, publicly traded companies are beholden to their stockholders. This is what black people got to understand. And the reason why I'm pointing out black people, because this is our conversation, and we tend to get far too emotional about business. We tend to get far too emotional about certain things. All right, dog. And the reason why these companies did DEI in the first place was because the administration in office was pushing that. That was a Biden administration thing. No company did DEI because they like black people. It was never about them liking us. It was about them being in alignment with the current administration. which at the time was the Biden administration. Administration changes, corporate policies shift. That's just, dude. And let me tell y'all something. I have a witness in here. I got an email today from a pretty big contract of mine that do my anti-black racism training, and basically saying, hey, we don't need your services no more. So for those of you, and especially that dickhead that was in here earlier telling something, you're a YouTuber. My bigger money is made offline, and I just lost a pretty good contract I wanted. I had set up for some stuff, but you know what? Even though I don't do DEI, I do this particular contract with anti-black racism. The DEI, anti-black people in the Trump administration, it's over. So you got to adjust. So I don't feel anything for Tamika Mallory and Nina Turner and any of these Target boycott dummies. The fuck? I definitely could have used that contract to keep going longer. I wanted it to go longer. Hell motherfucking yeah. But times change. And if in 2028 there's a new administration that's pushing that, I might get a revisit. I didn't want that bad. I didn't want that news. But that's just the times we in. You move on. You move on. But they got us boycotted, and this is what I don't like. There's so many things that's going wrong in this country, y'all. This country is fucked up. And it's really fucked up for black people. Like, dude, Tamika Mallory, Nina Turner, Jamal Bryant, Al Sharpton, they're all ignoring reparations fights. There are reparations fights around the country going on right now. Maryland, Georgia, California, Texas, New York, all the way down the line, Chicago. And these jokers ain't gave not one voice to that. Appreciate that, kiddo. And and I hear what you're saying, Rafi Play. All corporations do need to be boycotted, but let's get into the reality. All right, can we have some reality talk right now? I know it sounds good, but remember this: the Montgomery bus boycott was in 1955. It was in a very small, controlled environment, and accommodations were made for the boycotts. When you had the Montgomery bus boycott, it was two things that happened. People who had cars, now they started carpooling to work. That's the number one thing that happened to support the Montgomery bus boycott. Those who've had cars, who were part of it, picked up their neighbors and took them to work. Are you willing to do that? The second part was enforcement. People who got on the and you can get this in a book called "We Will Shoot Back." It's talking about it's a book about the Mississippi between 1955 and 1965. They talk about this in that book. So if y'all want to check my sources, that's my sources. In the book, in the book, We Will Shoot Back, they also talked about there was also an enforcement mechanism. When people went to, when people who broke code and got on the bus, or if they're boycotting a store, there were people assigned, they were enforcers. They would go to your house and say, okay, why did you shop at that store? Why did you ride the bus? And if it came down to, hey, it's a situation, they said, okay, well, Miss Smith down the street, where do you work? Oh, you work at the house on that street? Well, Miss Smith around the corner, she works for a lady on the block next to you. Miss Smith will pick you up and take you to work. That's what would happen. And if people didn't comply, they got their ass beat. You got one warning. Second warning, there were enforcers going around during the Montgomery bus boycott. They talked to you all about that nonviolent shit. Fuck all that. The reason why the Montgomery bus boycott worked was, number one, it was in a small controlled environment. Number two, accommodations were made. Number three, there was enforcement, and people who didn't follow along and follow suit got their ass beat. None of those systems exist right now. That's number one. But let's go back to number one. Small controlled environment. Small controlled environment. Montgomery, Alabama. Small controlled environment. We're talking about a boycott nationwide. Elkhart, Indiana. What's up? Appreciate that, Zavon Scott. Where is Elkhart? How far is that from Naptown? In what direction? South, east, west, north, south, east, west, north of Naptown? And how many miles? But yeah, it was like the Montgomery, right, Nori Neal, the Montgomery bus boycotts included a lot of ass whoopings. And so now when you're dealing with a country, that's not a small controlled environment. That's a macro environment. They're easier to get things done in controlled environments that are smaller. So the fact that the environment shifts means the nationwide boycott is not going to work, because there are different needs people have. If you're in Georgia, y'all got Walmarts everywhere down south. In California, Walmarts are scarce. All right, for sure, Zavon, okay. Do I need to say that again? See, in a nation this big, look at California. We ain't got Walmarts. Well, if you're in LA, I'm in LA. I'm not. Now, if you're out there in a boring-ass part of LA, in the Inland Empire where it's boring as fuck, yeah, them boring-ass niggas got Walmarts. But I'm in LA. Like, I'm in LA. We ain't got no fucking Walmarts. They have the one at the Baldwin Hills Mall. It's one not too far from me over in Torrance. It's like some Walmarts. But Target's everywhere here in LA. Target runs LA. So my environment is going to dictate, do I drive 12 miles to a Walmart who got rid of their DEI 2? Am I going to order on Amazon who got rid of their DEI 2? Or am I going to drive to the Target that's one of them is a half mile away, the other one is a mile and a half away, and the other one is about 1 mile away? I got 3 Targets within a mile and a half. So off top, you're dealing with different environments are going to dictate different outcomes. And what I'm talking to y'all right now is just social. This is social science. Like, the reason why the country ain't scared, because social scientists, social engineers run the country. And people think, you say social engineer, oh my God, that's conspiracy. And then you go to your city and they have job openings for people that have a job title city planners. If you can go and get a job as a city planner, if you can get a college degree as a city planner, that means there are people who plan cities. That's just a fact. It's not conspiracy theory. Environments are engineered. You can get a college degree in one. Go look it up. Your city you live in right now, have them working all in your city. Outcomes are engineered. So you can't boycott in such a large environment because in different areas there are different social norms. That's number one reason why the shit was bullshit. Well, number one is because everybody got rid of DEI, but that's the reason why. That's number one reason why it wouldn't work, because it's a larger environment. The number two reason it wouldn't work. DEI? How is boycotting one company gonna help with DEI? Yeah, Sherelle, the black community whooped the black community's ass when got on the bus. LA is a target city. But it's the different, like, that's what makes it another reason why it wouldn't work. And it also, it didn't connect. Like, you don't ever hear, there's so many things going wrong with them right now. And for me, it sounds odd because I don't have kids, don't want them. And the reason why I don't want them is because of my experience. I got 1,000 kids out of all the years that I worked with children. That's the reason why I got fucking gray hair as young as I am. I'm only 44. My grades started coming in at 38, 37. Working with all them goddamn kids and families and situations. Our kids are fucked up, man. And these niggas is boycotting Target. The IEP system, special education, the people that they got coming in teaching your kids that don't like them, don't respect them. Our kids, and I say are, even though I don't have any, it's still are, because I'm part of the collective. Still our children. That's my point of view on children. Anytime I see a child come anywhere near me, even if I see them in the store, it's my responsibility to make sure that black kid is good. And when I see them, most of the time they walk with their head down. They don't want to make eye contact, and I get it. That's the world that we're in right now. But when I want to cross a 15-year-old that does make eye contact, I make sure to say something positive and something uplifting. Stay strong. Keep the love in your heart. Trust yourself. I make sure to tell the kids that all the time when I see them. But what's up, Mansfield Hall of Fame? What up? But our kids are fucked up. And we doing fucking Target boycotts. You better go to Target and get them some pencils and papers and motherfucking cartridges for that inkjet so they get that report in on time, nigga. You better go to Target and get them some socks and underwear, a couple t-shirts. The fuck is we talking about here? Some paper for that printer. Fuck we talking about here? Like, our kids are fucked up right now. And nobody's talking about that. And they'll talk about that. The only time they want to talk about our kids is when they killed by the police. Well, guess what? 99.9999% of black kids won't get killed by the police. When are we gonna focus on the ones that are living, not the ones that died last week? I'm not saying let's not focus on the one that died last week. They need love too. But when are we gonna spend our time in between those killings to support the ones that are living? For real, Frank Green, I brought on a doctor to help you get the daughter off those meds. Oh, she's in STEM. That's what's up. That's what's up. I like when I can help. You work at the Department of Mental Health for 10 years. You see what's really going on. You know. You work at the Department of Mental Health for 10 years. You really get to see. My work experience comes in banking, so I got to see people's money. When you get to see people's money, you know what it really is. My 3 careers, not careers, but jobs, I worked in banking to get me through college. I worked in mortgage, hard money lending, and I worked hard money lending too. You know what hard money is, especially 20 years ago, before the market crash of 2008. I was in hard money lending in 2006. So if you know, you know. 16% second. Only thing we need is 60% LTV. So I got to see what the fuck it really is, you know? I remember when I did, and I'm going to get to Tyler Perry next. I remember when I did hard money lending. Man, I think, Kendall, I don't know if you're sitting here. I don't know, was I telling you this earlier this week, Kendall? I don't know if I was talking to Kendall on the phone or somebody else. But I was talking about my earlier years in mortgage banking. I had a house. We had to go inside every house that we got put a second on. And I was like, why do we got to go in every house? And then one day I had one of those loans. And the reason why we had to go in every house, there was a house in Beverly Hills. I think it was either on Elm or it was on Barrington. But it was in Beverly Hills. It was on wasn't on Rodeo. It was on Elm, whatever. Big, beautiful house. We go in and put a second on the house, right? The people who owned the house, this was like a $9 million house in Beverly Hills. You see the same shit. The people that bought this $9 million house, they could comfortably afford a $4 million house. But because they wanted to floss, they got a $9 million house. And I saw this time and time again. The same thing you niggas be criticizing black people for, people do it on all levels. Everybody flossing. Everybody want to show that they the man or the woman. Everybody wanted to show that they rich. So the same way some of y'all may be in a $2,000 a month apartment when you know you should be in a $1,400 a month apartment, no different with them rich motherfuckers. They finances say they can afford a $4 million mortgage. But they want to live, and about one thing about Beverly Hills, the closer you live to Rodeo, that's how the values change on the north and south. I mean, when you go east and west, the closer you are to Rodeo, the higher your valuation. And on the north and the south, the closer you are to Sunset. So the houses in the 100 block of Sunset are significantly more valuable than the 200 and 300 and so on and so forth. You would think that the top of the hill is the highest values. No, the highest values in Holmby Hills and Beverly Hills are aligned with Sunset and Rodeo. And every block you go further on, the house loses value. So I got to one see that, okay, it ain't just niggas that's fronting. Everybody's fronting. Everybody. The next thing I got to see is we go in the house, we put this $200,000 second on it. The people defaulted on the loan. We go in there and we paid the first off. So we now got the house. And because the first only had like, first had like $4 million. The value of the house was like close to 10. And we came in with a second one only like 500. So we go in the house. Do y'all know these people pulled up the tile on the floor because they had very expensive tiles on the floor? They picked up the tile. They took all the fixtures. They took the knobs. They took the bathtub, the jacuzzi. Yeah, they took the jacuzzi too. They literally took the kitchen sink because the sink was marble. And they took the whole sink, the cabinets. So they took off $500,000 second, took off, never paid one payment, and literally spent that time and stripped the house down. This is in Beverly Hills. I've never had a black tenant that nasty. So when y'all see me out here, when I be like always like saying like give black folks a break, I'm saying that for a reason. I saw these ghetto ass Persians and white folks and all up and down Beverly Hills and Laurel Canyon. And I did their mortgages. I did their mortgages. So that's where my experience comes from. When you see people's money, you get down to know what the nitty gritty is. You see what people spend their money on. Because for you to come do a refinance with me, I need 3 months bank statements. And I'm seeing how you're spending your money. When I was a teller in college, I was a bank teller in college, and then I became a loan officer in college. And I would do loans. And so I had to look at your financials. I got to see what people really were about. And here's one thing you learn about life. Everybody's full of shit. White, black, Mexican, Asian, Eritrean, El Salvadorian, Atlanta, St. Louis, Vancouver, Kansas City, New York, LA. Everybody's full of shit. So while you going around, what's up, Alicia? While you going around having a guilt complex because you trying your best to make it work and it ain't happening, and you looking to your left and to your right and you're looking at people you think got it together, you just giving yourself undue agony. Understand this, y'all. Everybody's full of shit. And every now and again, you're going to meet somebody that's genuine and that you connect to. Make sure you love and value those people that you genuinely love and connect to. Because everyone else you meet is going to be full of shit. You say you took out a boy for insurance? Damn, Cali Nolan, shit. Hey, Cali, them. You say you had a friend squatted in a house in Hollywood Hills for 2 years? Yeah, the Armenians out here. I don't even want to be racist. I'll tell y'all right now, though. Don't fuck with them Armenians in L.A. Glendale, they know all the scams. They know all of them. If you want to run an auto insurance scam, go find yourself an Armenian homeboy. You're going to get broken off. I've seen people do it. I used to work at the bank. I'm telling y'all. Armenians, they know how to squat. I'm telling you right now, I run a lot of apartment buildings. Thank God all my apartment buildings, none of my apartment buildings are in neighborhoods that Armenians frequent. Because they be running some game out here, boy. Woo! Woo! Man. See, I don't have the Nigerian issue out here. Even though there are a lot of Nigerians out here, it's some live back here in my neighborhood. Like, I don't really interact with Nigerians like that. On the comedy scene, when I used to do comedy a lot, I'm cool with some Nigerians too, but I've had far more interactions with Armenians than Nigerians out here. Far more. It's like the Nigerians kind of sick to themselves. They just kind of, the Nigerians out here in LA kind of just stick to themselves. They don't really come around us like that. They be having their own little jollof parties. I knew this because about 10 years ago, no, about longer than that, 2012, my homeboy, for a little short while, he got in cool with some Nigerian on the Nigerian comedy circuit. And they had, like, this is back when LA had his own black-owned comedy clubs. Nigerians had their own thing. Now, sometimes they may rent out a black-owned comedy club to have a show, but they would have these massive shows of the Sheraton and the man, you'd be like, where the fuck? Man, I've been living here my whole life. When the fuck did all these? They got their own word out here in LA. But Armenians got their own fucking neighborhood. It's called Glendale. And there's some in Pasadena too. But Glendale, they got that city. If you get into an accident in Glendale, it's probably somebody trying to pull an insurance scam on your ass. Oh yeah, they stole the weed dispensary licenses. Yep. But let's get to Tyler Perry. Did y'all see Tyler Perry? He owned 25% of BET Plus. Did y'all see that? Paramount bought out BET. They now own BET. And they bought Tyler Perry out and got rid of BET Plus. How do y'all feel about that? No more Tyler Perry. Do y'all want my point of view? Mind you, I'm somebody that is low key. I do comedy. I don't do it full time anymore, but I still do it. So when I talk about people like Tyler Perry and I write, I do stuff, and this isn't something that I do that's profitable for me, but I'm a truth teller, you know? I'm not part of the Atlanta scene, so I'm not part of the Tyler Perry crew, but I gotta call a ball and a strike a strike. I gotta call it like I see it. With respect to all my friends that got work from Tyler Perry, with respect to all the black actors that he employed, this with respect to y'all, Tyler Perry's production and his art wasn't shit. Everything I say about music and how the quality of music has gone down and gotten simple, you can apply all that to Tyler Perry. See, there's a strong danger in just wanting representation. You can get representation, all right, but what are they going to represent you as? Yeah, I appreciate the fact that, right, Manosphere, I appreciate the fact that Tyler Perry put people on. I appreciate that people got work. But doing this production down in Atlanta, that took it out of some of the minimums that actors made here in LA. See, you can say what you want about LA, but when production's out here, people get paid. People get paid out here when it's out here. When you can say what you want about the studios, and I'm not gonna shit on your gripes, but people get paid. Paid. Tyler Perry, think about this. We had the Hughes brothers. We had Robert Townsend, John Singleton. We had Spike Lee. You had Melvin and Mario Van Peebles. You had all of these. Ice Cube. In the 90s, and somehow we ended up with Tyler Perry, Eddie Murphy films, Kingdom Ivy Wayans. Pay attention, black people. That's what we had just between 85 and 2000. But by 2010, we got Lee Daniels, 50 Cent, and Tyler Perry. I already said Robert Townsend. First, Robert Townsend was like the second name that I said. How did them brothers, Reginald Hudlin, Queen Latifah, how did they stop getting budgets and all the money went to Tyler Perry? That ain't no different than hip-hop devolving from Outkast, Tribe Called Quest, Rakim, X-Clan, Ice Cube, to Ja Rule and Nelly, then to Drake. It's the same game. Yeah, higher learning, Frank Green. Yeah, like, you see it happen in TV too. Pay attention. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Go back to the 90s. Remember you had some movies like The Wood, The Best Man, Love and Basketball. Who remembers The Inkwell? Coming of Age. What's up, Star? Yeah, 11-11. Inkwell was was a beautifully written coming-of-age film for a young black man. We don't even get coming-of-age films anymore. Who remembers The Inkwell? The fight between urban black people and upper crust better than thou niggas. Yeah, poetic justice, higher learning. Higher learning made me, because like higher learning came out when I was going to 9th grade, and higher learning, my mom always like, Dwann, you going to college? I'm like, so when I saw higher learning, I saw myself in college, because my muse, my personal muse in entertainment is Ice Cube. Ice Cube is my muse. To see somebody who can be that bluntly pro-black and still find a way to make it to the highest level. That's Ice Cube was my muse, and he was my muse back then. So when I saw Ice Cube in college, I saw myself in college. Yeah, Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen, man. Debbie Allen's so cold. Debbie Allen is God in the flesh. I'm sorry. I may be putting extras on it, but that's how I feel. Debbie Allen's God in the flesh. How do we go from those people getting the budget to Tyler Perry? I mean, you can't put, nigga, you can't put Woo, what's Boo, the Tyler Perry Boo film? That's not on the same level as Tales from the Hood. Tyler Perry never made anything like Dead Presidents. Like, that whole Tyler Perry play, in my opinion, was the same as when they elevated Jay-Z and Drake and Beyonce. When the 2000s came, they elevated very talented people, but not our best. And this is no disrespect to them, but this is with respect to all of those brothers and sisters of the 90s and the 80s that were really good at what they did. And when the 2000s and 2010s hit, they didn't get the budget. Let me clarify myself what I mean by budget. Everything is controlled by budget, and everything. Basketball, football, sports, entertainment, school districts, politics, your job. Where money is allocated is where things are going to flow. The reason why New York is New York is because after World War I, when this country went on a mass project to build the country up, the country decided on New York. The cities that were in the running for mass renovation and building were Philadelphia, New York, Cleveland was one of them, and I think St. Louis. And ultimately, the country chose to develop New York and Chicago, but primarily New York. And that's how New York became the mecca that it is right now, is because the funding went there to build the Chrysler Building, to build the Empire State Building, and these iconic buildings. That was planning. That was budget. It's the reason why heavy metal was the biggest thing in the 80s and nothing 20 years later. Budget. Budget is everything. Okay? So when it comes down to the budget thing, I just saw World Trade Center. Yeah. I just lost my train of thought. Let's get back on topic. We were talking about budget. Budget when it comes to films. Producers and directors and creators, they need budgets. It's different now with the internet, but we're talking about the 90s. Let's go back to the 90s. It costs anywhere from $500,000, it got me from $5 million to $100 million to shoot a movie. And those who get access to those funds are the ones who win. When we get to 2007, 8, the only people who are getting budgets are 50 Cent, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Will Packer for a little bit. Will Packer got some budgets for him. But you ain't seen nothing from Will Packer in how long? You don't. Budgets. All of those great producers, all the Wayans brothers, Reginald Hudlin, y'all heard me say the names, Debbie Allen, on and down the line. You mean tell me for every 2 Tyler Perry films, one of those people couldn't get one? Tyler Perry became everywhere. And again, salute to him employing black people. But if we're going to tell the truth, if you give any of them niggas the budget, they're going to employ black people too. You mean tell me Debbie Allen ain't going to employ black people? You mean to tell me Eddie Murphy ain't going to employ black people? Ice Cube? Look at all the comedians. Think about all the joy Ice Cube gave us indirectly by the comedians he put on. From Chris Tucker, Cat Williams, Mike Epps, Don D.C. Curry. Cube, the movies he did with Kevin Hart. Cube has been one hell of a gatekeeper with comedy, and not even a real gatekeeper, a true sense of a gatekeeper. Meaning, whenever he finally got the budget to do a film, he was going to put comedians in position to shine. Bernie Mac, A.J. Johnson. He wrote films to where he laid back, hired a bunch of comedians to be funny. And Q don't get that credit. Alex Thomas, thank you, Star. So, whatever black person got the budget was gonna put black people on. And I don't say that out of hyperbole. I say that based on what we've seen happen. John Singleton put a lot of black people on. Spike Lee put a lot of black people on. So whoever got those budgets was gonna do it. Imagine Ali Leroy with more budget. Look at what he did with Everybody Hates Chris. Imagine if Ali Leroy got the treatment of whatever show he got put on, because once you put together a show like Everybody Hates Chris, you should have, and I don't know that man's business, but I know I don't see his shit on mainstream TV no more. I know that. But We get 50 Cent. 50 Cent got somebody either going to jail, getting out of jail, finna go to jail, in jail, on drugs, used to be on drugs. I mean, if you see a 50 Cent production, you guarantee you it's trauma porn. Chat room, am I lying? Like, I'm looking at the chat now. If I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong. What we see with our eyes and what we listen to with our ears is so important. Well, then my Issa Rae and Tiffany Haddish. Issa Rae, I hated that show that she had. What was that show called? I hated it. It was stupid. I hated that show. Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish used to be cool. Last couple times I saw Tiffany Haddish, she kind of walked past. She kind of like, whatever. I don't like that fake ghetto act Tiffany Haddish put on. I don't like that. I'm tired of ghetto. I'm tired of hood rat. And I'm cool with hood rat if you genuinely are one. Because most hood rats try to clean it up when they come around people who aren't on that kind of shit. I know I'm not talking about people I respect everybody for what they are. Let me make that very clear. I even respect the hood rat in the thought. Everybody is who they is. Everybody got a role to serve. What I don't like is when people who aren't hood rats play a hood rat act. Jasmine Crockett, Tiffany Haddish. I don't like that. She's not a hood rat. But the hood rat act annoys the fuck out of me. But so does the fake gangster, the nigga who grew up in the valley, but he played like he a gangster. Like, stop it. I don't like fake. I don't like it. Issa Rae. I hated that show. What was that show called? Insecure? Insecure was the worst depiction of LA I've ever seen on film. And LA's been on film a lot. Insecure, when I saw that, my wife watched the show. I was like, whoever put this shit together, these was the people inside when we was all outside having fun. Because this ain't the LA I recognize. I recognize the buildings, but these niggas? Yeah, Insecure made gentrification. Insecure sent images back to the Midwest and other parts of the country that these neighborhoods, now that they're on TV, they're safe for you to move to. Because you would see ads in Kansas City and in the Midwest advertising apartments for Inglewood in a newly revitalized area of LA as seen on whatever that show name was. But y'all remember when we was kids, when we would be outside playing, and there was always like 2 kids on the block that couldn't come outside? That's what Insecure was. If Issa Rae grew up in LA, she wasn't outside. Then I saw her thing. She grew up, when I saw her neighborhood she grew up in, she grew up in the neighborhood that I moved to when I was 16, View Park. Like, even though View Park is where the black people with money are, it's still black people. And it's very pro-black in View Park. When I saw where she grew up just a couple blocks from my parents. When my parents moved to when I was 16. She moved just a couple blocks from there. In the neighborhood my wife grew up in. And the people in the neighborhood aren't that. She's somebody who was inside. And then I saw that she moved to like the East Coast and then she came back to LA or something like that. So, I mean, every character on that Insecure show sucked. All the black men were weak. Like, there were no, even though there were people that were, one of the dudes that I know, he was a writer on that show. Chinadu Naka. We started comedy together. He's a Nigerian. He grew up down in San Pedro. But I love Chinadu. He's a good dude. That's my guy. Love him to death. But he ain't one of us. So you never got the LA flavor. You gotta watch that movie, The Wood. That was LA flavor, The Wood. Even Love and Basketball was LA flavor. Like, The Wood was just where I grew up. Like, when I watched The Wood, that's the LA I remember, when it was all black. Yeah, you had some gangsters, but it was also a bunch of peace too. The Wood is an accurate depiction of LA. Boys in the Hood is an accurate depiction of LA. Insecure. And I remember where she lived. She lived in the Dunes. I see the Dunes in the 80s that was the worst apartment unit on that block in the 80s and the 90s. I know this because when I was a kid, my mom used to carpool to work, and one of her carpools lived where? In the Dunes. So I remember going to go pick up my mom's carpool when she would pick him up on the way to work and drop me off at school almost every day. And I heard from him recently. Good dude. But I remember 1988, 1989. I'm in the car, my mom taking me to school, her carpool getting in, and him talking about his house, the neighbor's house getting broken into last night. Or the time, oh man, yesterday, you know when right when we left yesterday, somebody broke in my house. They took the pink slip to my car and took my car. So I remember I'm 10, 11 years old when somebody I knew lived in the Dunes. I would hear these stories on the way. Well, I was older than that. I was old. These are overripe years. So I'm 11, 12. So I'm more 11, 12, not 10 or 11. I'm like 11, 12, those years. We're talking about 90, 93, 94. And so I knew what the Dunes was about. And then when I got into high school, a lot of my friends lived in that area. So one of my best friends lived on the same block as the Dunes. So the same block the Dunes where Issa Rae lived was on, the 90s, one of my best friends in high school lived on that block. And we was on that block all the time. And we was squares, but the gangsters was right outside, right down the street. And we kind of all cohabitated, lived in it. We were in the same area, but the gangsters didn't fuck with us, and we for damn sure didn't fuck with them. Like one of my first high school girlfriend lived like around the corner, so I would have my mom drop me off at the homeboy house that lived across the street from the Dunes, and as soon as we get there, we walk around. You know how you do when you 14, 15. And then I saw Insecure. And I was like, that ain't it. Who are these people? These people will get their ass beat over here. Who the fuck is these people? Donuts. So yeah, what we've gotten on TV is low quality, just like we've gotten from music. It's the same. It's no different. The music has sucked, the TV has sucked, the movies have sucked. You don't get romantic comedies anymore. You don't get coming of age films. You don't get comedies. But you get Tyler Perry. Yeah, the Dunes are off Cinderella and these cats. They off Cinderella and they on Inglewood Ave. Is it Inglewood or Eucalyptus? I'm so dyslexic. I always got Inglewood Ave and Eucalyptus transposed because one of them is the Fat Burger. Well, it used to be Fat Burger, and then the other one is where that gas station is. The Dunes is on the one with the gas station. It's either Inglewood or Eucalyptus, or is it? But it's on Hyde Park. It's in between. It's on the corner of Hyde Park. Because if you take Hyde Park, when you go down La Cienega, if you want to avoid that La Cienega traffic, you make that right on Hyde Park. And once you make the right on Hyde Park, just before you get to La Brea, I think it's either Inglewood. I think it's Inglewood. If you look to your left, you'll see the Dunes. Yeah, Hyde Park and Inglewood. If you make that right off La Cienega, go down Hyde Park. Just before you get to La Brea, man, look to the left, you'll see Dunes on Inglewood. Or if you're coming off La Brea, make a right. And then go down 2 blocks. And then look to the right, you'll see the Dunes. And it's on the southwest corner of Inglewood and Hyde Park. That's where the Dunes is, the southwest corner. I'm sorry, the northwest. I said southwest. Northwest corner. The northwest corner of Inglewood and Hyde Park. Yeah, by the DMV. The DMV closed down now, but yeah, by the Inglewood DMV. What's up, Artist Life? But so on one hand, yes, even though Tyler Perry put out, I think for the most part bullshit. Because let's just analyze what has Tyler Perry put out that spoke to social conditions. What has he put out that showed strength in black men and the family together? What does he put out that shows a strong black man and family? Even Friday, a comedy, showed a strong black man and family. Pops was strong. No matter what went on, we had a great laugh in Friday. But the climax of that movie was put the gun down. Use your hands. That's what a man is. After Cube gave us weed smoking the laughs, we got a lesson. What lessons do we get? I'll give you one lesson we get from Tyler Perry films. Forgive degenerates. That's one of the lessons. Person act the ass the whole fucking movie. And now let's forgive him because Big Mama said so. Artist Life don't even get me on Kevin Hart films. That's another one. But some things are politics. Kevin Hart employs some people that I love. got a lot of genuine love for it. So I don't say much but about Kevin Hart, but we all see what it is. I don't know Kevin Hart personally. Well, before Kevin Hart got famous, I would see him around the clubs all the time. But Kevin Hart's, I like his success. Kevin Hart doesn't harm Black Americans. That's why I don't really say much about him. He does that goofy shit, but he doesn't hurt us. And I at least give him credit for that. Kevin Hart doesn't hurt us. Kevin Hart don't sit around talking about he don't jump into politics. He don't push a political party. It's like Kevin Hart, for the most part, minds his business. He's annoying as fuck. Like, I remember for a while, he was at All-Star Weekend, and he was on a mic all All-Star Weekend, and it was just like, dude, come on. You got so many funny comics. You got Tony Roberts. You got Corey Holcomb. You got so many Esau. There's so many funny. Y'all just keep this nigga on. Come on. Annoying as fuck. But he don't hurt us. Yeah, he's a court jester. But there's space for that. There's space for Kevin Hart. Sometimes we need comedy that don't offend. Comedy that ain't talking about nothing. You just want a good laugh. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue is, when it comes to what Kevin Hart was during that time, it's a lot of other comics that the industry they could have backed that they didn't back, but that wasn't Kevin Hart's fault. That was just the industry choosing to only put them eggs in one basket. That wasn't his fault. That's an industry issue. But Kevin Hart has never really been my style of comedy. But that's what they chose. If you go to that Shaq All-Star, the first 2 years, Kevin didn't have the best set. Ari Spears even had a better set than Kevin Hart at that Shaq All-Star. Tommy Davidson had the best set. Tommy Davidson had the best set. And like, if you go to that Shaq All-Star that Kevin Hart was on, if you're gonna put your money behind anybody on that one, it should have been Tommy Davidson. But again, it goes back to budget. You can't tell me that as great as Kevin Hart is, even his movies don't equal Ice Cube's movies as far as level of funny. They don't. But you had so many other people that they would have done a hell of a lot better than Adam Carolla. They'd have been a hell of a lot funnier than him. What's the other white boy? Pineapple Express? Like, remember like in the 2000s into the 2010s? What's that white boy name that got all them goddamn comedies? Them things was not funny. Anchorman was funny. But what was that one? Talladega Nights? You got this jackass just rolling around on the NASCAR track crying. Like, dude, that would have been funny if I was 5, but maybe because I was in my mid-20s. Them movies weren't funny. Yeah, Seth MacFarlane and Will Ferrell, like, they got all the comedies in the 2000s, and they got the last set of comedies. And if you notice, because what I'm trying to point out is this: it's not just Tyler Perry, it's not just Drake, it's all around. When they started giving Seth Rogen the keys to white folks comedy, even white comedy started sucking. White comedy wasn't bad in the 90s. Naked Gun, shit. White comedy wasn't bad at all in the 90s. Rodney Dangerfield movies, especially the 80s. The 80s is a golden era of comedies. Mel Brooks, you know, you get a Sam Kinison appearance in every now and again before he died. You know, there's some funny white shit in the 90s. Chevy Chase, yeah. John Candy. Yeah. Man, white comedy was funny as hell. Yeah, Caddyshack's one of the greatest fucking movies ever. I love Caddyshack. Matter of fact, I'm gonna test out my PlayStation 5 DVD player and pop in Caddyshack. Remember the Rodney Dangerfield Back to School? Yeah, Steve Martin. Steve Martin movies was funny as my mom used to love them Steve Martin movies. Funny as hell. Them movies, man, white movies was funny as fuck in the 80s and the 90s. And then they got left with Seth Rogen. And what's the other one? Judd Apatow. Fuck Judd Apatow. I remember I got into a Twitter beef with Judd Apatow a few years ago. That racist son of a bitch, my opinion, allegedly. But he looked like a racist. Well, it is alleged that he did have some I'm not sure if it was the grape word or the PDF word, but it was one of those two. Go look it up. Judd Apatow. Racist son of a bitch. Fuck him. We ended up getting Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen. And that, for the most part, then by 2015, no more comedies at all. Yeah, Airplane was hilarious. All the Naked Guns, Police Academy 1 through 5, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Hot Shots. Y'all remember Hot Shots? Hot Shots Part 2 was but Hot Shots 1? Nigga, what? That movie was fucking hilarious. Beverly Hills Cop. Ferris Bueller, yeah, Spaceballs. Major League, yes. Especially Major League 1 and 2. But really Major League 1, Serrano wants bat. And the white folks got left for Seth Rogen. Black people got left for Tyler Perry. Chat room. Does that not sound like there was some kind of hand involved with that? I'm not. Some of y'all are afraid of the word conspiracy theory. Okay, fine. I just ask yourself, I did that on purpose. I got y'all to really remember the 80s and the 90s, how good the comedies were. And then go to Seth Rogen and Tyler Perry and see the difference. Do y'all not see that? Yes, we as black people, we are the beta test. We are how the bullshit starts, but it always boomerangs back to them. Hell yeah, Dan Aykroyd movies. One of my favorite movies of all time. Me and my sister know every line of it. It's a movie that came out in 1991 called Nothing But Trouble. It's easily one of my top 3 to, I'll put it in my top 5 I probably put it in my top 3, but it's definitely in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. It's definitely in my top 3 most watched movies of all time. Movies that I watch the most, over and over and over and over and over again. Nothing But Trouble. That's when Tupac was in that movie, and Digital Underground, they had a scene. And when Digital Underground came into the Reeve, they came in a hearse. And so the security guard, the police constable, she said, "I got him, Judge, got him for speeding." And Dan Aykroyd, the Reeve, said, "Oh, what you got him for?" "They got him for speeding, and they came in a hearse." And then the Reeve, which was played by Dan Aykroyd, said, "Well, if you're in an ambulance, you have a chance. But if you're in a hearse, it's gotta be worse." I fucking love that movie, dog. I love Nothing But Trouble. Matter of fact, me and my sister gotta watch that together again. Bad call, Cornflake. I left that leg in France. And he had like a dick on his nose. Man, that shit came out when I was 10. Man, me and my sister and my brother, when my parents would go to Vegas and leave us alone, my parents are leaving us alone when my brother was like 15 and I was like 11. And my parents leave us alone and go to Vegas. And me, my brother, and my sister would watch Nothing But Trouble, Trading Places, every fucking day on VHS. Now listen, hoo, hula, hula, hula. I fucking love that movie. Yeah, the Hawaiian Punch. Nothing better than a nice cold hole. Then Chevy Chase got it. He was like, "Yeah, nothing like a nice warm Hawaiian Punch." Look out behind you. There's a bee's nest. That's my fucking favorite. I'll put Nothing But Trouble is easily in my top 3. Nothing But Trouble, Trading Places are in my top 3. I don't know what the third is, but I would say Nothing But Trouble and Trading Places are easily 2 of my top 3. I hate those bankers. Yeah, right. That's why I never let a banker go. With The Last Dragon, maybe it will either be The Last Dragon to fill up my top 3. Because Nothing But Trouble and Trading Places is set in stone. The other one would probably be, I don't know, The Last Dragon or Beverly Hills Cop. The Last Dragon or Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know. Jim Varney movies, hell yeah. Nigga, them Jim Varney movies? Hello, Vern? Nigga, I went down to the Cerritos Auto Square to get a car just because Jim Varney used to promote them back in the 90s. Cerritos Auto Square? Man, but I went out to Norm Reed's Honda. Them niggas was not trying to give up the deals. I was like, fuck y'all. Came right on back. But, nigga, I went to Norm Reed's Honda to get a car like 4 years ago just because of those Jim Varney commercials from back in the 90s about the Cerritos Auto Square. Go see Cal, yeah. But it's not because we got older, folks. Action Jackson. It's not because we got older. The quality of films when we get to Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, is it me, chat room? Tell me if I'm tripping. Am I tripping? I mean, you don't have the depth. You felt like you knew Axel Foley. You felt like you knew Officer Todd. Axel, now what the fuck are you doing? Like, Officer Todd in Beverly Hills Cop. That's a $75,000 car, Foley. The commissioner's been in my ass. The police commissioner was in your ass. I love Officer Todd. But you felt like you knew Officer Todd. He was a real cop from Detroit, but Officer Todd was somebody that if you grew up in a black community, you knew him. And look at this. They say Beverly Hills Cop came out today. I read something that was like, adjusted for inflation, Beverly Hills Cop would probably make like $500 million if it came out today with all of first weekend. If you adjust for inflation with all the tickets that they sold. And that was off people like Officer Todd being genuinely Detroit black. Axel Foley was a genuine nigga in that movie. We sell black people being ourselves. We don't have to change. That's a lie. We're forced to change. People want us to change so that they can catch up. Real talk, Sean C. I'm glad you said that. That's nothing. I'm glad you brought the point about Tyler Perry's films. They're very predictable. You know, they're very formulaic. You know how they're going to go. He doesn't hire writers, so the writing isn't good. It's very surface level. It's nothing we need in times like this. So I'm going to tell you the truth. I'd rather have no representation than bad representation. Not saying I don't want to see us on TV, but there are certain images that we get betrayed in I'm just tired of. I was watching Netflix, Prime, I think it was Prime, watching basketball, and I see a commercial, some movie that's coming out on Amazon, and it was like this Mexican woman or this Latin woman, and it was this black dude or like Caribbean dude with long dreadlocks, and this Latin woman started beating the dog shit out this nigga. And I mean, not just beating him up, I mean totally obliterating him. Like she hit him with a brick like 10 times, cut his nuts from the back. And it was a very graphic scene. It was a commercial for some kind of new series that they have on Amazon. And the commercial was this Latin woman beating the dog shit out this nigga. Is that the kind of representation you want? You got to be on TV so bad that they're going to have you in that position? I don't give a fuck if a woman like that was a 17-degree black belt. She ain't beating no nigga like that. But is that what y'all want on TV? Movies like, I remember like John Wick 1. Y'all remember John Wick? I'll go back to the first John Wick. You had the brother that was a concierge. But there was only one other black man in John Wick. And he's standing over this white woman. And this white woman ends up headbutting him and beating the dog shit out of him and killing him. The only agent on John Wick's side that got killed was a black man. And there was a white woman doing it. You know, when they put you on TV, they putting your black ass on TV to get your ass beat by women? Like, that's the representation you want? Pay attention to how you portray black men. Right, Accolade 310. How do we go from Blade to that? we as a people, we've been too distracted by entertainment anyway. There comes a time to where, you know, you need to focus on other things. And here's the thing about it, it won't be long because Black Americans are the sauce of this country. So at some point, they're going to have to come to the table correct. They always do. Because if it's one thing this country needs, it's bread and circuses. You see, this country's getting his ass kicked over in Iran. This country needs bread and circuses. So at some point, they got to make the entertainment good again. But in the meantime, we got YouTube. That's real talk, Salute. They let one sellout get the bag. Yep. Yeah, Accolade 310. See, the Sinners movie just proved that for a new generation. They've been knowing that. They've been knowing to come to us to get the bag. They've been knowing that at least since 1971 when Shaft dropped. Industry was going broke. The Godfather was an initial flop. You remember, Shaft is what floated them to get through the Godfather debacle. The Godfather was a flop initially. It grew. It took a momentum, and people went back to the Godfather. But the movie that made the money was Shaft. So, you know, them pulling a budget out of Tyler Perry, okay. Collectively, we don't lose anything. Now, some good people lose some work, and I feel sorry for them. I always feel sorry for people that lose work. But collectively, as a whole, we don't lose nothing from that. What's up, Marcia? Real talk, cow dog. Zephon said, Tyler ass. Yeah, Superfly, The Mac. Blaxploitation saved Hollywood. We're going to do some reading tomorrow on Patreon. We'll do some reading some of these cards. Tammy Dick said, I don't know why black folks are following swindlers. She used the word swindlers. Tammy Dixon used the word swindlers. I like that word. That's one of my favorite words is swindlers. I ain't heard that word in a minute. Yeah, Melvin Van Peebles is another great one. But I don't know about y'all. I'm tired of black people looking goofy on film. I'm tired of us looking goofy on film. I really am. Tired of us looking goofy socially. Again, that whole Target boycott was goofy as fuck. You look goofy the motherfucker boycotting when everybody's policies changed. And policies changed because why? corporate policy always falls in alignment with government policy. That ain't nothing personal. Nothing about corporations is personal. They are here to make money. Definitely Tuesday, Vine. Hit me up for that. But we gotta stop this. This whole Tamika Mallory, Jamal Bryant shit was a whole that shit was a scam the whole time, and now they're fighting each other. Now their fight is quiet now, but I'm telling y'all this: as we get closer to the summer, you're gonna see more infighting from that side. Remember what I told y'all in the cards. This is the year of the fade. This is the year of the fade. Everybody fighting this year. Better sit your ass back and watch. Even if you want to say Target took a L, Walmart and Amazon didn't, and they both cut their DEI. Like I said when we started it, Target was the one company out of all the companies that started buying black products, black-owned products, and made a commitment, and stuck by their commitment, by the way, too, of buying black-owned products for their store shelves. And that's the company that you niggas decided to boycott. Shame, shame, shame. And then all it took was Al Sharpton and Jamal Bryant to say, all right, everything's good. Fraud-ass frauds. Fuck them. Matter of fact, I need to go back to Target, because Target be having, I like the thick red vines, not the little, no, the red vines, the big ropes. Target, the only place you can find the big ropes. Nigga, as a matter of fact, I'm ordering that shit in my Target app. As soon as I get off from y'all live, I'm gonna go on my Target app. I'm gonna order some more Dr. Bronner's and some Red Vines big ropes in the app. And then that way it'll be ready in the morning. I just go pick it up. Target make it convenient. You can go order in the app and pick it up. Yeah, hit the like button. Target, you can order in the app and go pick it up. I'm in parking spot number C7, ma'am. C7, yeah, in the Honda. Yeah, that's me. Thank you. Boy got Target. Shit. Yeah, the old school red vines with the big ropes. Let me get that. Let me get some Dr. Bronner's soap. Matter of fact, I'm running a little bit low on lotion. I need some Jergens too. Order all that shit in my app, and I'll be right there at 10 o'clock in the morning. Pick up in parking lot number C7. Give me my shit. Target, thank you. Fuck out of here, nigga. All this shit we got dealing with as people, you want to boycott Target over DEI so people can come in and get hired of your dumb ass? Fuck out of here. Nah, I never collected comic books. I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. It's 12 o'clock. It's Saturday. Friday, was it? Let's say Friday? Oh, Funk Fridays. Oh, yeah. Time to listen to my funk mix on my iTunes. All right. Y'all have a good one. Patreon tomorrow morning. We're going to do some reading.